certain man one night was crying Allah till his lips were becoming sweet with the mention of his name. Why now, chatterbox? Said the devil. Where is the answer? Here am I. To all this Allah of yours? Not one answer is coming from the throne. How long will you grimly go on crying Allah? The man became broken-hearted and laid down his head to sleep. He saw in a dream mystic Khazir all in a green garden. Look now, Khazir called. Why have you desisted from the mention of God? How is it you repent of having called upon him? No answering. Here am I. It's coming to me, the man replied. And I therefore fear that I may be refused from his door. Khazir answered, your cry of Allah is itself my here am I. Your pleading and agony and fervor is my messenger. All your twistings and turnings to come to me were my drawing you that set free your feet. Your fear and love are the lasso to catch my grace. Under each Allah of yours whispers many a here am I.
You water a tree. You water a tree. A fruit appears. You keep watering. What do you perceive? You perceive that the skin of the fruit is growing, changing its color. None of that has any indication of the sweetness of the juice. The sweetness is inside. It cannot be seen. The words that you receive from a mystic, from a teacher, from a Rumi, are like the water. The mind is being watered. The tree is the mind. The words of the mystic water the tree. The fruit comes. The skin of the fruit is not sweet. And the skin keeps changing color. And the skin keeps growing. This is what you perceive as you look at the tree. Oh, something is happening. Now that which is happening, that which is in the time and space dimension, is both significant and insignificant. That which you can experience sitting close to a Rumi is both significant and insignificant. It is significant because it tells that something is happening. After all, the fruit is growing, so something is happening. Some change is coming. The skin of the fruit is changing from green to yellow to reddish yellow. Some change is coming. The tree is changing. Because Rumi is watering your mind, so the mind is changing. Some change is coming. So what you experience in closeness with the Rumi is significant. But it is also insignificant. Why? Because none of that which appears has any mention of sweetness. Same is the case with words. Now understand. The water that is going to the tree is words. Only the teacher's words are falling upon your ears. And as a result, the mind is experiencing something. As a result of the water, the tree is changing. The mind too is changing. And that change is experienced. I have repeatedly said that change is not the real thing. I have repeatedly said truth cannot be experienced. But that change is at least a symbol. The change in mental state. The change in the state of mind that you experience sitting close to a teacher or upon Rumi reading Rumi's Masnavi tells you that something is happening. So it is like a harbinger of good news. But that which you perceive as happening, you should not take as too seriously. The color of the fruit is not the pulp of the fruit. The size of the fruit is not the sweetness of the fruit. It is not the real thing. So what the mind experiences while listening to Rumi is not the real thing. Yes, it is significant, but yet not real. The real thing is happening secretly, Shilpi. The real thing happens secretly, behind your back. You won't know. It's great that you won't know. If you would know, what would happen? You would interfere with the process. The baby develops in the womb. You can at most watch the bulge. And it is you cannot touch the baby. The baby is too delicate. You would harm it. Now the baby is within you, yet you cannot touch it. And that is needed. That is needed because in your curiosity, because in your impatience, because in your attached state that you call as love, you would end up harming the baby in your womb. Same is the case with understanding. Understanding cannot be seen. It is so very within you. It happens secretly. It happens in its reserves. It happens when nobody is looking at it. But yes, the marks of understanding are there. When the baby is developing, as we said, you can watch the bulge. When the fruit is developing and sweetening, you can watch the color of the skin and the size of the fruit. And that should be enough. Have patience, have faith. When the baby is in the womb, have you seen its face? Have you touched it? Have you embraced it? Have you fed it? Have you consciously fed it? You haven't. And if you haven't seen it, if you haven't touched it, you haven't heard it, why do you keep rejoicing that the baby is coming? How do you know that the baby is there? Because the signs are there. Similarly, sitting close to a teacher, you get the signs of understanding. You will be able to perceive only the signs. Understanding you will never be able to perceive. Understanding is in the womb. Understanding is in the heart. You will never be able to really look at it through your senses. It is the sweetness of the pulp. It won't be visible from the outside. Even if you lick the fruit from outside, you will get no idea of the sweetness. So be patient, have some faith. Pay attention to the signs. See what the stars are foretelling. Certain indications are prescient. By looking at the face, you can tell that the other is gripped by silence. Of course, to look at the other's face that way, first of all, you must be silent. Of course, silence cannot be seen. But if you know the art of looking at somebody's face or eyes, then you will get the signs at least. Forget all about understanding. Understanding is not something that you'll ever be able to touch with your consciousness or senses. But it is happening. You won't know of it, and yet it is happening. Secret is the word. It is happening secretly. There is no need to complain. There is no need to feel desperate or dejected. I know of a kid. He had some little plants. And he was so keen about the welfare of those plants. He would daily check how deep the roots are and whether the roots are deepening. He would pull the plants out, measure the root, and then put them back in. That is what you will do to understanding if you are too suspicious about whether it exists or not. It must happen in the dark. Understanding must happen when you are asleep, when you are not conscious.
So by this we understand that yes, God exists, and the only way for us is to actually start living.
When you are playing lawn tennis, you must think about many things. The ball, the opponent, the conditions, the crowd. But why must you think about gravity? It is. And if you start thinking about gravity, you will miss the ball. You don't think about things that are absolutely present. That which is absolutely present must be absolutely ignored. So God must be absolutely ignored because He is absolutely present. You would be a madman if you are wondering about gravity as you take a step. One step taken and now you are thinking about gravity. Next step taken, again you are thinking about gravity. It is there, absolutely there. Doesn't matter where you step. North, south, east, west, this country, that country, oceans, continents, wherever you go, at least on this earth, you have the definite gravity that you are used to. Don't need to think about it. Think about other things. Think about things that are not absolute. Think about things that are prone to change. The ball is prone to change. The positions are prone to change. Time is prone to change. Situations are prone to change. Go ahead, think about them. Don't think about essential things. Their thought is not needed. There if you think, then you are a madman. And the entire world is mad because it is thinking too much about things that are essential, like security. Security is an absolute. It is there. Why are you thinking about it? Welfare. The entire world is worried about welfare. It is an absolute. Why do you need to worry about it? Love. The entire world is crazy after love. Well, it is an absolute. Why are you thinking about it? Freedom. The entire world wants freedom. Somebody is rebelling. Somebody wants to encroach upon others' freedom. Somebody is too particular about his own. The fish does not need to think about the ocean. The fish needs to think about other fish, food, the hook, the bait, the line, the sinker. The fishermen think about these things. Don't think about the ocean.
The devil in the story is a distractor. So, but in that moment of despair, how do I decide that the devil is not actually a well-wisher, but someone who is drawing me away from the grace of the God?
The first story. A certain man one night was crying Allah till his lips were becoming sweet with the mention of his name. Why now, chatterbox? Said the devil. Where is the answer? Here am I to all this Allah of yours. Not one answer is coming from the throne. How long will you grimly go on crying Allah? The man became broken-hearted and laid down his head to sleep. He saw in a dream mystic Khizr, all in a green garden. Look now, Khazir called. Why have you desisted from the mention of God? How is it you repent of having called upon him? No answering, here am I is coming to me, the man replied, and therefore I fear that I may be refused from his door. Khazir answered, your cry of Allah is itself my here am I, your pleading and agonies and fervor is my messenger. All your twistings and turnings to come to me were my drawing that is set. Free your feet, your fear and love are the lasso to catch my grace, and the reach Allah of yours whispers, many a here am I. You see, nobody is a devil really. We talked of the sati and the asati, the vyabhicharini. If something or somebody takes you away from the truth, then he or she might have done you a favor. What happens to the sati when she is away from the truth? She is reminded even more of the truth. The distance tells her how much she loves the truth. So the devil has done her a favor. The devil has let her know who she is and what her relationship with the truth is. The devil only does something. The devil does something. Its effect upon you is determined by you. The devil does something. What effect it has upon you is determined by who you are. The saint might tell you to take the name of God 10 times, and that can take you further away from God. That does not mean that the saint is a devil. That only means that even the saint's advice will have only such effect upon you as you are. Depending upon who you are, all advices will bear their fruit. If you are a sati, then even the devil's work or the devil's advice will be a boon to you. And if you are an asati, then even the saint's advice will be used by you as a curse. It is not about the devil, it is about you. Who are you? That's the question.